Freedom of speech and expression, citation to Al Jazeera. Freedom of speech and expression everywhere in the world. With these words, Franklin Delano Roosevelt described the first essential freedom needed to assure democracy, safeguard human rights, and provide for a just society. On this 12th day of May 2012, in recognition of its steadfast commitment to journalistic excellence, the Franklin Delano Roosevelt Freedom of Speech and Expression Medal is awarded to Al Jazeera. It was 16 years ago when Qatar's Emir, Sheikh Hamad bin Khalifa, decided to launch this path-breaking news organization. There were many skeptics in those early days who did not think it possible that a truly objective and independent television news channel could be launched on the Arabian Peninsula in the heart of the Middle East. But Al Jazeera soon proved them wrong, broadcasting hard-hitting news and offering a host of freewheeling programs that explored a myriad of issues long thought to be off-limits in the Arab world. Soon, both the powerful and the powerless were paying close attention to this remarkable new journalistic phenomenon. Among the Arab people, Al Jazeera was a breath of fresh air, bringing truth and open discussion of the things that most affected their daily lives. It also brought the one thing most feared by many of the region's most oppressive rulers, a measure of democracy, the free exchange of ideas, and the promise of change. But there was also something more. To many Middle East scholars, the launch of Al Jazeera seemed to signify a deep and profound stirring in the Arab world. Today, nearly 2 decades later, as we marvel at the Arab Spring, we can see that these observers were certainly correct. There were and are deep stirrings in the Arab world, stirrings of freedom, for an open society, for an end to oppression, and for the promise of opportunity. It is hard to imagine how the events that have inspired us this past year in Tunisia, in Egypt, Libya, and now Syria could have happened without the vision and determination of this remarkable organization. Moreover, the launch of Al Jazeera English in 2006 has helped shake up the West television industry, bringing the viewing public a much-needed alternative to the ever more shallow and commercialized Western media. As US Secretary of State and 4 Freedoms laureate Hillary Clinton recently remarked, viewership of Al Jazeera is increasing steadily in the United States because Americans want to real news. They want to watch real news. Franklin Roosevelt once remarked that the truth is found when men are free to pursue it. For nearly 2 decades now, Al Jazeera has brought the light of truth to millions of men and women, not only in the Middle East, but also around the world. In doing so, it has not only advanced the right of all people to enjoy freedom of speech and expression, but also helped foster a respect for democracy and the free exchange of ideas that continues to inspire all of us today. May I please invite Ms. Roosevelt to come forward and extend the medal to Ms. Altani. Mr. Altani.
Your Majesty, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is with immense pride and sincere humility that I stand before you today to accept the Freedom of Speech and Expression Award on behalf of Al Jazeera Media Network. Everyone at Al Jazeera is honored to be recognized for defending the values of free speech and for providing the world with fearless, independent, and impartial reporting. Free speech and free thought are necessary for any kind of a human social development. It is important to note, however, that our groundbreaking achievements have come at a substantial and sometimes painful cost. Over the last 15 years, our bureaus have been bombed, and our people have undergone a severe hardship, being jailed, tortured, or killed while pursuing the freedom of speech and the right of people everywhere to be heard. Al Jazeera's Sami al-Haj was the only journalist to have been detained in Guantanamo Bay. He spent over 6.5 years before eventually being released without charge in May 2008. He is now the head of our Public Liberty and Human Rights Department. Taysir Allouni, a Syrian Al Jazeera journalist, was jailed in 2005 in Spain after fighting over 6 years to prove his innocence. Taysir was released only a few months ago following a ruling by European Court of Human Rights. We are delighted that both Sami and Taysir are back with us after their difficult experience. But unfortunately, not all of our colleagues are with us to witness this important day. I would therefore like to take a moment to honor 3 Al Jazeera heroes who paid the ultimate sacrifice. Tariq Ayoub, 35 years old Jordanian, have been working for Al Jazeera for 3 years. He was a talented journalist, a loving husband, and a proud father to a beautiful baby daughter. On 8th of April 2003, after only 3 days reporting from Iraq, Tariq was killed when US airstrike bombed hotel where he was reporting from. He gave a courageous life reporting from the front line moment before he died. Rashid Hamid Wali joined Al Jazeera in March 2003 and was soon recognized as one of the most brave members of our field team. In May 2004, Rashid was part of Al Jazeera team in Iraq when he was shot and killed as he attempted to capture images of fierce fighting on the ground. Ali Hassan Al-Jabir, a Qatari national, was widely loved as a dedicated and gifted cameraman who embodied the spirit of Al Jazeera. In March 2011, Ali was returning to Benghazi after filing a report from nearby town when unknown fighter opened a fire on a car he was traveling in. Ali was immediately rushed to hospital but did not survive. It is often said that we stand on the shoulders of giants. Tariq, Sami, Taysir, Rashid, and Ali are Al Jazeera giants who will forever remain in our hearts. It is because of their sacrifice that Al Jazeera has grown from strength to strength since our launch in 1996. We started out as the first independent Arabic channels in the world, with a vision to provide unbiased news coverage in a region where independent, balanced reporting did not exist. From the beginning, Al Jazeera led the way in putting the human being at the heart of its news agenda, with the opinion and the other opinion as a foundation of our journalistic values. We have protected these values throughout our commitment to our code of ethics and code of conduct that runs through everything we do. In a world where the truth and human rights are always under attack, Al Jazeera has, at a time, at a great cost, and under extreme pressure, continue to give a voice to the voiceless. We filmed live inside hospitals and homes during the Iraq conflict, and stayed live with images that stunned the world. In 2008-2009 war in Gaza, we were the only international news reporting from inside Gaza. The painful and heartbreaking images of destruction and dying children reveal the human cost of this war to our audience across the world. In Haiti, we continue covering the earthquake long after other news networks had left, reinforcing our commitment to the people at the heart of the story. We followed the uprising in the Arab world with unparalleled coverage and showed the world the power of collective human spirit as it struggled for freedom and dignity. Now, with the largest network of bureaus across the globe, we stand tall as international media network with journalists, channels, and initiatives that go beyond boundaries and challenge conventional wisdom. With over 25 channels covering news in different languages, documentary, and sports, we continue to expand our reach across the world. Recently, we've launched several news channels, including Al Jazeera Balkan, Al Jazeera Sport News, with more to come. At the heart of our strength is Al Jazeera employees. They are our biggest asset. Our people who risk their lives on a daily basis serve as an example of a true courage. And the legacy of Sami, Taysir, Tariq, Rashid, and Ali lives on as we dedicate this award to them, as well as to all the journalists across the world who have suffered or died protecting the freedom of speech. Thank you.